Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bly saga. We're gonna be watching Bly versus ShaDoWn. And this is the final round of the Swiss section of ESL Winter 2023 European Regional Qualifier portion. So if you make it out of the Swiss, you get into the playoffs, and if you do good in the playoffs, you go to the actual effing tournament. So we're a long way from the actual tournament. But Bly's out here fighting for a spot. Again, going with that double extractor trick. No Overlord yet. This is the first Overlord he's building. ShaDoWn checked out his natural and saw a drone leave. But this drone didn't actually go to that third base location. What does ShaDoWn know? ShaDoWn doesn't know anything. Bly has this drone ready to make another hatchery. We've seen this before in his games versus his previous Protoss opponent in Spatz. He also did this, I want to say the first game on Hard Lead he did this. Let's see how ShaDoWn deals with it instead. We see the gateway coming down, probably going to see a Cybercore as well here. He chrono boosts out the Zealot first. I think that's a good idea. You don't want this or hatchery to come or go up at any cost. Well, not any cost, but you know what I'm saying, right? You don't want to pull all your probes. Lings do shoo away this one probe. They're shift queued, so they won't leave until that probe is either dead or returns back to the main base. So ShaDoWn doesn't know about this particular hatchery. Now let's look at the front. Gateway's getting attacked once again. Zealot is safely put into this nook over here. Oh, and that's two Zealots, but they're on the outside this time versus Spatz. Spatz had them on the inside, so he couldn't actually shoo the Lings away from his gateway. But even in that game, the gateway wasn't cancelled, so... Oh, big surround on that first Zealot just before the shield battery's done. Nice surround by the Lings, nice targeting from ShaDoWn on that low HP Zergling, and there's a hatchery on the natural base location now. Adept doesn't manage to shade with the Lings here. Lings kind of derping out, does get another probe kill here. 3 probes down so far. So that one probe on the map also just died. Trying to do some damage here onto that gateway. And the Adept is going to hunt down this last Zergling. And Bly on the other side of the map started mining some gas. Still has this hatchery in the natural. And almost has his own natural completed, so... In a sense, Bly is sitting pretty here. His natural's almost done. Protoss can't start theirs unless this hatchery finishes up, so that's pretty big. Targeting down that Zealot actually significantly delays the nexus of the Protoss. Protoss actually moving out to his third base to maybe take a base over there. 3 adapts on the map. Will they shade away? They won't, but there's an Evo chamber here on the natural base location. Damn, what a cool build by Bly. It works out pretty darn well, even better than for Spatz, because he kills that one Zealot. Now, there are 3 Adepts here, and you don't have Ling speed, so you need ample amount of Lings here, an ample amount of Lings, to make sure that these don't get into the mineral line and do a bunch of damage. But look at that, that's 3 Adepts, that's pretty spooky. Do have 3 Queens on the map, though. And these Adepts trying to get in there. Nice positioning by Bly here, keeping them away. Not under-committing to Zerglings. He has like 12 Lings here. Just making sure that these Adepts don't get anything done. And actually, wow, ShaDoWn doesn't commit to the third base location. He creates a Nexus at his natural position. So his Nexus is only halfway done. Getting glaives from his Twilight console here. Pretty cool. We have speed over halfway done, and we see a Banelingness as well. We see gas mining, so Bly might be willing to invest in a couple Banes here. We see 3 Adepts. 2 could be warped in right now. 2 more are warped in indeed. Damn, if Bly's watching here, you see 5 Adepts. That's a little sus. That's a lot of Adepts. I don't know, maybe you just want to make a lot of Zerglings here and catch them out, but you could just recall all of these Adepts, but there is no energy for that, but you can't know that if you're Bly. Third base going down for Bly, And 12 more Zerglings underway. He goes for an immediate surround on this one Adept. That's very nifty. If you target one Adept, they're probably not going to recall. But if you get a full surround on all of them, they probably recall. Very nice. Ooh, Probe tries to put down a third base, but that one Zergling denies the third base. Wow, ShaDoWn really getting shut down here when it comes to expansions. But now his third base is pretty early compared to the third base of Bly. So even though this position is pretty cookie, or, well, let's just say chill for Bly, he still has to make a lot of units to kind of like keep that position. And here is a bunch of Adepts. 8 Adepts trying to ShaDoWn into the main. Good amount of Banelings were built here. We see 7 Banes. If you shade on top of them, or Banelings get even close to your Adepts, you're just... Oh my god, the Adepts are being surrounded here. Some Baneling hits, and all of these Adepts are now low HP. And ShaDoWn is kind of stuck on 2 bases here. A couple of Adepts, and that's 10 drones for Bly, rocketing up in the worker count, and he kind of needed to catch up. Like, you would say that this is fine for ShaDoWn. Bly's on such a low worker count this game. Oh my god, no! Oh, that's not supposed to happen. The Adept ShaDoWn into the middle of the map on top of those Banelings and just get completely cleaned up by the Lings and the Banes. That's like the greatest engagement Bly could ever hope for. Hunting down his Protoss opponent, and how are you ever taking a third? Bly will deny this forever and ever now. Suddenly this position went from pretty decent for ShaDoWn into yikes territory. We do see a robotic support bay here. Might be going for some Colossi or Disruptors. Third base now established. We have 4 Adepts and a Stalker in the wall there. 7 Banes underway. Maybe going for a little bust action. And I can't believe it that a 7-minute 30 seconds bust might actually just do it for Bly here. And he goes into the Pylon. Pylon actually just gets annihilated by these Banelings, because Banelings do, of course, do bonus damage versus buildings. Nuclear battery dies immediately as soon as it's started. Did Bly just try to bait ShaDoWn into starting the nuclear battery and then target it down? Because he didn't put the Banelings on the nuclear battery, or the battery before that. And now Banelings nice hold position on the probes. 13 probes do go down. And now the Lings are split up, so the Adepts also have to split up to deal with this harassment. Third base is still building, but more probes being harassed by these Lings. 16 probes went down, most of them in the natural to the... Well, just 2 Banelings, really. And now if you look at the worker supply, Bly's up 20 drones. And if Bly is up on workers versus you, I think you're in some deep trouble. We see a Colossus here, and it looks to be stuck. It looks like it could pass, but for now it's just chilling over there. Overlord got morphed into an Overseer, so it could actually survive the Stalker hunting it. A Warp Prism with 1 Adept trying to do what it can, and the Overseer now out to do some scouting. Of course, there is a Twilight Console, so a Desperation Dark Shrine could be underway. But we already see another Spore in the main. We already see a Spore in the third base, respecting what this Warp Prism could do. And now there's 8 Mutalisk underway. Spore in the front as well. He was really onto that Dark Templar possibility. Now, if these Mutalisks come out, there's 2 Stalkers and 2 Sentries to deal with that. Okay, so the Colossus are not stuck. Oh my god, Roaches are out as well. Do kill 1 Adept. And now the Mutas are out. Where are these Mutalisks going? Are they going to circumvent this 1 Warp Prism? Or are they going to refuel themselves and shut the Warp Prism down? They are going around the Warp Prism and into the main base. They are going for the big damage. Although there aren't a lot of probes in the main anymore. It's 10 minutes into the game. Ooh, Lings in the third base. Shut down that battery building. This one Stalker can't defend all of these links, and oh my god, that's so many probes dying in the main, dying in the third base, and ShaDoWn has to pull the trigger. He's like, I'm dying, I don't have any workers, I just need to walk across the map with these expensive robo units and get damage done, hopefully kill Bly. He invested so much into these Mutalisks, but Bly can just play the waiting game, even pulling a Spore Crawler here. Targets down the first Colossus, and that's a lot of roaches. Nice force fields, but the roaches can just move past. Crowsbow delete the force fields, and Bly deletes ShaDoWn in game 1. And if there's one map you don't want to play against Bly, it's either Alcyone or it's Radhuset Station. Which, this is just a weird map. Look at this shit. We have a bunch of minerals here to form a wall. I think it's like 20 minerals each. Double destructible rocks. A gold base. Like a Zelnaga Towers. So weird. And then you have this third base with minerals as well. So if you wall off properly in your natural, you can take a free third. So as a Zerg player, I do appreciate that. Go in that 2-base Swarmhost. That's actually a 3-base. And Bly, again, moving out with that one drone. Drone and probe do see each other. Hi. Nothing going on here. Actually moves towards the gold a little bit. Thought about it for a moment. And puts a hatchery down in the naturals? This really Bly? Damn. Actual natural hatchery from Bly. What is this drone going to do? He could still block the natural off ShaDoWn here. No pull down. And Bly is coming into the base, and this probe is there early. This probe is like, nah, brother, it ain't happening. Oh, and Bly tries, but he does not succeed. Ooh, drone does get stuck here a little bit. Oh, and the Nexus goes down for ShaDoWn. Immediate pull for Bly. I appreciate the attempt. He's even going for a gas steal, and he gets it. So that's a little annoying for the Protoss. Of course, it also provides you decent vision of what is happening in the Protoss base. If you're really cracked, you can see the probes leaving from the Nexus every time they main art over to the natural. So you really know what's going on. And sometimes the Protoss will play nice and just build it in vision for you. Let's see, what can he see? You can barely not see that pylon, actually. So ShaDoWn can just safely build his tech over there, and Bly won't be able to see any of it. You can also just continuously cancel and build that gas again if you really want the scouting. But wow. Actually, kind of a normal game so far. Do see an Adept being chrono boosted out here for ShaDoWn. And some probes already long distance mining because there is no gas to be had. Super fast second guess by ShaDoWn here in the natural. I like that adaptation. Not really concerned with shutting down that gas just yet. Probe ready for the tech building of choice, which is going to be the Stargate. Now this one Adept. Jesus, that's so bright. The sand tile set is very bright. The Adept is in the natural of Bly, trying to get some scouting done. Probably not going to try and hit any Proby boys, but he does shed into the third base location. He's like, there's no speed yet, so I should be able to survive. Actually gets a drone that was trying to mine out these minerals so that Bly can take a safe third base. And there is a pretty fast lair here. 320 lair for Bly here against ShaDoWn. This Adept did a lot of heavy lifting for ShaDoWn. Nice control on that one. Got a drone kill. Confirmed that Bly was kind of trying to get a third base. And he got out. Like, I would say that's a W Adept. Now we see a Void Ray coming out of ShaDoWn. I like that a lot. That'll keep you safe from any shenaniganry Bly will do with maybe a Roach Warren or a potential Nidus Worm, which this cheeky Overlord over here does look to be thinking about it. Like, if I'm over here, will you know that I'm putting a Nidus Worm in your base? I guess because of this third base, your natural plus main is very big all of a sudden. But ShaDoWn does seem to be aware, Or at least looking a little bit for it. He has a pylon here, but you could just Nidus over there, and there it is. Nidus Worm is down for Bly. And we see 4 gas, no infestation pit, so if he was going to go Nidus Swarmhost, it's a little late. You kind of want to go infestation pit before, but he has these 4 gases. What is he going to use this for? I'm a little confused. You have a Nidus Worm, but you don't have units to put into it? Or a tech structure to use all the gas that you have? And here's the Nidus coming up into the 3rd base. He puts in the 4 queens. That's it, and there's the infestation pit now. Put down in the natural, and all he's going to unload is a bunch of queens. Oh, barely not transfusing the Nidus, actually. Can transfuse this 1 queen, and it's a decent Nidus because the biggest part of the defense for ShaDoWn is 1 Void Ray. And I guess he's just going to kill him with Zergling Queen because ShaDoWn was being super greedy behind this. Another Nidus Worm comes down, and all ShaDoWn has to shut that down is 3 Stalkers. 3 queens still here. The infestation pit is done, but I don't think he'll ever need those Swarmhosts. Oh my god, the Nidus Worm actually going down. 3rd base going down for Bly. And the queens are now stuck. What the hell is happening? There is a creep tumor, actually. And ShaDoWn has no way of actually getting rid of that creep tumor. All queens are dead, and 5 Swarmhosts are in production. Let's effing go. We got those Swarmhosts. Bly is literally behind a full base. His 3rd base is not even halfway done, and ShaDoWn's 3rd base is fully effing saturated. And he's just going into Swarmhosts. He's like, no biggie. I got this. Ooh, this Solnaga's really good for some potential swarm hosting action. Now the Nidus Worm is outside of the natural here. There's what? 2 Void Rays roaming around to try and find these type of Niduses, or the Nidai. And here are the Swarm Hosts. We heard the sound. Ooh, Zergling's getting rid of a couple of Adepts here. And here come the Locust into the natural of ShaDoWn here, and this is the most important wave. And he swoops in, hold position, and he gets a couple probes. Actually moves towards the probes even more. Nice hit. 9 probes. Go down to the first hit. Nidus Worm up in the 3rd base as well, trying to catch ShaDoWn slacking. And a couple queens here trying to protect the Swarm Host from these Void Ray boys. And here is more Swarm Hosts, and oh my god, actually the Void Ray goes down to those queens. There must be another... Oh my god, the Lynx actually got into the main base! Can you believe it? So annoying. No additional Nidus Worm though. Never mind, here it is near the 3rd base. We see another Nidus Worm. And ShaDoWn is just kind of getting shut... Well, not shut down, but he's losing just a little bit too much. And just running around trying to catch Bly. And here's more Locust. And he's actually targeting down the Nexus. And this is a Nexus killing amount of Locust. And they do get the Nexus. It goes down. And now ShaDoWn is on that 2 base. Struggling to go back onto 3 base. Whilst Bly is on 2.5 base. And has a Spire halfway done. What did we see? Couple Phoenix? No biggie. I'm just gonna make Mutalisk anyways. If I fly around the Phoenix, it's still good, right? 4th base going down for ShaDoWn, and look at the creep giving ShaDoWn vision, and this is why going Stargate against Nidus can feel so bad. Well, firstly, Phoenix can't shoot them, but also the creep tumors will just give so much vision. So that, like, you could put a Knights here, and here, and here, and here, and here. You need to, like, patrol 1 or 2 Zealots. Well, 1 Zealot would probably be enough for this area. But it's just pretty darn annoying to find the Niduses, because it's not like 1 Overlord or 1 Zergling running around. It's just a whole patch of creep that you can't clear, and so it will always be there. Damn, the Locust gets shot out of the air by the Phoenix over here. Phoenix are pretty good against flying Locust, I can tell you that. Second base is done now once again for ShaDoWn, and we see 5 Corruptors coming out with +1 attack. So Bly actually wants to contest the Phoenix count with this Corruptor count. 7 Corruptors. Bunch of Roaches are out now as well. Roach speed is now done. Oh my god, one Swarmhost is gonna die to this Void Ray. No! Okay, one Swarmhost does bite to dust. Locust, no! Oh! They weren't being controlled just yet, so a couple of them swoop down onto the Stalkers. And now the Phoenix are here, and Phoenix make your Swarm or Locust really sad. And they just don't do anything. Oh my god, that was a lot. That was like a full load of 13 Swarmhosts worth of Locust. Just completely denied by nice army movements of ShaDoWn, but here we are. Another Nidus on the creep vision. Who would have thunk it? And here are the Phoenix not picking up. Oh, there they go. Picking up 2 of the Swarmhosts. And now there's a Nidus in the third base. Oh my god, is ShaDoWn too fatigued? He actually lets it go up. That feels bad. Second one gets dropped, and this is going to be a lot of Locust. And this is the glorious thing about the Locust. If you get them in your base, you have to deal with them. And another base is going to go down. And once again, ShaDoWn seems fed up. Moves across the map. But there's Roaches and Locust in your base, dude. What are you gonna do? This is gonna be a really awkward base trade, isn't it? The Corruptors are now out, but the Phoenix are just sticking with the Stalkers. That's not really what you want as Bly. But Bly, you know that all of his units are over here. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna base race or are you gonna defend? He's actually going to defend his base. ShaDoWn now moving into the natural, ready to meet these Corruptor Ling Roach Swarmhost. And actually, that's a lot of Ling Roach. ShaDoWn has to get out of here, but there's still units in your third base area. The Swarmhosts were like, oh, you're retreating, then we're attacking. And now there's Locust in your natural once again. Chaos all around the map, and the Lings and the Roaches are still moving in. Corruptors on the prowl to get these Phoenix, and there they go. They find the Phoenix, only get one of them. Damn, Phoenix have a lot of health and shields. Now all the Phoenix do fall. Nope, 2 of them stay alive, but two Phoenix can't really deal with that many Locusts being sent out. So now these Corruptors have kind of done their thing. They could even potentially piss on this natural base whilst he throws in Locust onto the fourth base. And oh my god, the Corruptors get these Void Rays down as well, and those units are expensive. And now we see Roachling Swarmhost swarming in. These units do kind of complement each other because Swarmhosts take a lot of supply, whereas Lings barely take any supply. Of course, the Roaches also take a lot of supply. But it's mostly the Lings together with these other ranged units. Really complement each other well. My god, the Corruptors pissing on this base and killing it. And now the fourth base is being entered as well. These Roaches nom gobbling up all of these probes. And now there's Roaches from the left, from the bottom, and from the right. A Nidus in your face. Get out of my game, bro. I have Corruptors and Swarmhost. What do you have? You got Stalkers? Bro. Look at ShaDoWn. ShaDoWn has 2 bases. He doesn't have a natural. He doesn't have a third base. But he definitely does have some buildings over there. And Bly just somehow, some way making this game so crazy that he can thrive. And thriving he is. One adept trying to take down this Nidus Worm. But he can't. And there we go. Once again, ShaDoWn being punished for not having that one observer. Actually, 2 Stargates on the map. Never saw that. And now he's making an observer to get rid of this creep finally. But it's just Nidus Worm after Nidus Worm. And I think as a Protoss player, you have to be very tired of hearing that screech from an emerging Nidus Worm again and again and again in your game. There's another one. And all ShaDoWn has is a couple Stalker. Oh my god, he actually has a lot of Stalkers. But if you only have Stalkers versus Swarmhosts, you need to be able to kite them back. You need to be able to force out those Locusts in the middle of the map, not inside of your own basin. Stalkers do get caught here by the Ling Roach. Battery doing what it can. No nuclear battery forced out, and that's a lot of Blink Stalkers. +2 Blink Stalkers are pretty spooky, but here's another Nidus Worm in the third base location. Radhuset Station is a little bit too friendly with all of these Nidus Worm locations. Still another Creep Tumor out here, Nidus Worm out here. Oh my god, actually a lot of Swarmos getting caught here. 8 have died so far. We only have 5 Swarmos left, but they have done their job. The fear has been instilled into this Protoss player, and he's moving across the map once more with a similar amount of Stalkers as we saw before. And here's the Bly special. Just morph as many Ravagers as you can, because he's floating almost 2k gas. And ShaDoWn is sitting on 100 supply and about to lose his main Nexus. Oh my god, actually commits the nuclear battery to keep his main Nexus alive. He wants to mine these 1,000 more minerals. ShaDoWn taking a third base at his 5th base location amongst all of this. And this is a ginormous Ling Ravager force now built up by Bly. These Swarmhosts have done their jobs. And he's now just... I don't know. I think he can just go and end it. ShaDoWn is nothing. He doesn't have a third base. He doesn't have a natural. He's exposed. Like, as soon as you move across the map with all of these Lings and Ravagers, you should just be able to get the job done. And, oh my god, the fight in the middle here. Ravagers are not there, so decent fight for ShaDoWn. But now that the Roach Ravager shows up, you don't really want to stay there with your Blink Stalkers, trying to get them out. And he does get out quite a few of them, so I would say decent trade for ShaDoWn. But he needs a little better than just decent. And here are some more Locusts in your brand new base. And the Locust click down the Nexus. I don't think they should be able to get it, but they do have +1. And they are being left alone. I think they might get it, actually. Probably doesn't matter, but oh my god, he didn't get it. 10 health. Now the Ravagers and the Lings come to clean up. All of the probes do go down, and there's creep at your third base, so you don't even really have advantages here. There's creep for the Zerg units. And here come the Ling Ravager. You have endured so many Nidus Worms, so many Screeches, and now you're on the back foot. You are effing dead. And just like that, Bly takes away ShaDoWn's life in this tournament and moves on to the playoffs. I love seeing some ShaDoWn games, but this was the Bly show. Guys, I hope you enjoyed these games with me. We're going to watch some Bly games in the playoffs as well. Now be sure to let me know which games of the playoffs you want to see, or any other region. No worries, just tell me. You know, maybe you already saw it, but other people might still enjoy it. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers.